listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring will be here soon, so if buying a new home is on your to-do list, right now is the time to call Quicken Loans. Learn about which mortgage options make sense for you and get a jump on your competition. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Hi, welcome to the Subway ad for the new Sesame Ginger Glazed Chicken Signature Wrap. How would you like it?
I'll take a...
Sports announcer at home?
Yeah, how'd you...
We just know.
My wife picks up the new Signature Wrap. It's got double the rotisserie-style chicken mixed with a sesame ginger glaze. She appears annoyed at me, but she shrugs it off. Those sweet and savory flavors are calling her name. She lifts the wrap and she takes the bite! Incredible! And now she's closing the door on my... Subway, make it what you want.
Limited time only at participating restaurants. Double meat based on average 6-inch sub.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Welcome to CIRCUMSPICE, the right side of Michigan. All things Michigan from a conservative point of view.
Welcome to CIRCUMSPICE, the right side of Michigan, all things Michigan from a conservative point of view. Oh my God, it's just been a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Everybody has been outside. Show prep? What show prep? Actually, I'm kind of nerdy like that. I actually have done some, but man, I've walked all kinds of miles today, been out in the sunshine. It was just tough to pry myself away from it. Let's get this show started because, I don't think I want to get ranty right off the bat. Oh, but it's coming. Oh, yes, it's coming.
Yo, we've been all around the world. All around the world. Same song. I came for the party to get naughty, get my rocks on, eat popcorn, watch you move your body to the pop song that I'm singing, ding-a-linging, funky beats ringing, everybody swinging in the place as I kick the J-A-Z-Z-Y style, R&B, mixing it with the hip-hop swing beat, champagne in my hand, it won't be long till I'm gone. It's just the same old song.
It's hypothetical, political, lyrical, miracle. Miracle Whip, just like butter. My rhymes are legit, cause I'm the Humpty. Not Humpty Dumpty, but Humpty Hump. Here a hump, there a hump, everywhere I'm Humpty Hump.
Shut up and just listen. Not dissing, don't get me wrong. But to me, it's just the same old song. So just watch, cause my name is Shock. I like to rock and you can't stop this. Tupac, go ahead and rock this.
Now I clown around when I hang around with the underground. Girls used to frown, say I'm down when I come around. Gas me, and when they pass me, they used to diss me, harass me. But now they ask me if they can kiss me. Get some fame, people change, wanna live their life high. Same song can't go wrong if I play the nice guy.
Claiming fame must have changed now that we became strong.
I remain still the
Why
same,
too?
cause it's the same song. It's the same song.
That's right. It's the same old song. This is Alan Ray, your humble host, in the beautiful, soon-to-be cornfields of southeastern Michigan. Oh, my gosh. Yep, I did it. Digital Underground. Was there last week. Jeff guessed it. Well, no, he guessed it was Digital Underground, but I'm still offering extra points if you remember what movie that's from. Jeff, no cheating. You can't let him know. Anyways, welcome to the show. You know, I ran across this. I was talking about this to the guys at work. They kind of showed me this article during the week. There's a place in the Upper Peninsula. All right. It's in Manistee. If I say this right, you know, I'm from Michigan and there's still some things in Michigan I can't say. I think it's called Kitchity-Kippy. It does not freeze over. Okay. It is a pond, a big kind of a lake, and it stays 45 degrees no matter what. It could be, you know, Upper Peninsula, Manistee, you know, that's like -20, -30 area up there. The water temperature in this lake stays 45 degrees because it's an underground spring that bubbles up. Well, it froze over last week. Now, what happened at Michigan's largest freshwater spring is so rare, many locals say they have not only never seen it happen before, but have never seen photos of it. Kitchity-Kippy is located in Manistee at Palms Brook State Park in the Upper Peninsula. More than 10,000 gallons of water bubble up every minute from the limestone fissures. The spring, which is 200 feet across and more than 40 feet deep, is known for maintaining a constant temperature of 45 degrees. This is the first time I've ever seen it frozen over, and I've been in Manistee my entire life, said Paul Walker, VP of the Schoolcraft County Historical Society, who is 57 years old. It's very rare you'll ever see ice on it because it stays a constant 45 degrees. Even when it's 10 below zero outside, the spring just continues to bubble away. Now, there's a raft that you can get on and pull it across the middle of the lake. And the guys, a couple of the guys at work have been there. I have not, and I feel bad because I haven't, because I've been up in this area a few times. And apparently you can see all the way down to the bottom of this, all 40 feet down to the bottom of it, like it's like you can just reach out and touch it. It's that clear. Anyways, the raft is going to be closed until the ice dethaws, you know, obviously. But Dennis Green, the current Michigan Department of Natural Resources supervisor, Indian Lake and Palm Brook State Park, says there's an explanation as to why it occasionally covers the spring with ice. Generally, this occurs in the spring during a winter thaw. Basically, it happens when snow melts from the surrounding cedar swamp and runs into Big Spring. David Strassler, who took the photo of the frozen spring, also says he has never seen this before, and he's lived here 61 years. He told them live he frequents the spring every winter to avoid the summer tourist crowd. So what happened was really, really ice cold water flowed into this real quick and froze the top of it. 45 degrees water. And it is in a very, very beautiful, there are a bunch of pictures in this article, and it looks like, well, you know, every time I turn around, there's just more of this great state that I have to go take a look at. And apparently I'm just going to have to get up to Manistee, Michigan and take a look. While I'm at it, I might just travel up to Copper Harbor. What I really want to do is go across to Isle Royale and see the copper mines there. Because apparently those copper mines, you know, that's a great controversial area if you're a historian or if you're an archaeologist, because there's thousands of tons of copper missing from those mines that we have no idea where they went. And now, because of the way they can date copper and stuff like that, a lot of people believe that started the Bronze Age in Europe and places like that. So there you go. Something you could do in Michigan this summer. Go visit that lake. Go visit that spring. Always 45 degrees. Probably kind of cool when you're, up in there. So anyways, welcome to the show. I'm debating whether I want to get ranty right up front, and I got a feeling I'm going to, because just getting ready for the show this afternoon, I ran across something that really, really should be of concern to everybody here. Now, it's no secret that I'm not a big fan of grudges, but we are being run by idiots. Let's put it this way. And we're also having a problem with the testicular fortitude of the Michigan GOP. No offense if any of the people from the Michigan GOP are listening, but guys, you got to start fighting back and make it more public. I ran across this in CapCon, and I fell down this rabbit hole. And basically, what you saw over the last year with this pandemic and these lockdowns and the destruction of our economy, well, they're making that a permanent solution to pandemics. So in other words, every time a case of the sniffles goes around, you can pretty much expect everybody to have their freedoms yanked from them and the economy to be completely crashed against the rocks. These idiots have not learned anything over the last year. Now, this is from CapCon. Says lockdowns are now a part of an official state of Michigan plan for the future pandemics. One page of the plan from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services lists several state responses. These include canceling mass gatherings of more than 10 people and limit unnecessary movement in the community and shelter in place. The updated plan was released in December, and it has gone largely unnoticed. Till now, I've noticed it, and I have started to actually talk about it to the right people, and hopefully we're going to get this out, and this needs to be smashed. The plan differs from advice given by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which in its latest guidelines does not recommend shelter-in-place orders in response to a pandemic. Instead, the agency recommends voluntary home isolation and quarantine for those who may have been affected or exposed to someone infected. While the CDC doesn't recommend school closures and cancelings or postponing of large gatherings, these are reserved only for severe or extreme pandemics. The latest plan from the state health department, by contrast, makes no distinction for a pandemic severity and so seems to apply equally to all of them. Lynn Sutphin, spokeswoman for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, released a statement about the plan. It reads as follows. According to the Pandemic and All Hazards Preparedness and Innovation Act, which I'm going to have to bring up and study and give it to you pretty soon here on this show, all states are required to have a plan for pandemics. Like all plans, they are guiding resources meant to be adjusted as needed based on response. It is an annex to our MDHHS Emergency Operations Plan as dictated in the Michigan Emergency Management Plan per the Michigan Emergency Management Act. Non-pharmaceutical interventions have been included in previous pandemic plans, particularly pandemic influenza, and are based off CDC guidelines, which this is not. We've already said that. The NPIs in the CDC, from 2017, formed the basis of our COVID response, which was a total fluke, total stupid, and it was completely irresponsible. Again, that article was published in 2017 and uses a guidance documented in developing plans recommendation. Since the beginning of COVID, CDC has made additional recommendations, including NPIs based on the transmission of COVID, burden of disease, severity of illness, and population impacted. The state of Michigan has used these updated guidelines to respond throughout the COVID pandemic. What they fail to mention is we are a free nation. They forget this all the time. And it seems like Health and Human Services are some of the biggest offenders. Okay. You don't quarantine healthy people. You don't lock down healthy people. You don't crash economies against the rocks from the flu that only kills people pretty much from the age of 65 up. And most of those are from 70 up. This last year has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this feckless idiot that's in Lansing right now trying to run this state and her gaggle of morons have not used science. have not used statistics, hard, raw data. They are using politics, and they have no qualms whatsoever about ripping your freedoms away from you, all in the name of the flu. See, the study needs to come out, and it needs to be made prevalent. This plan, this ignorance that I'm looking at right here, this needs to be headlines everywhere. Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has absolutely no qualms about destroying your freedoms, killing your small businesses the second they think you're threatened, and all in the name of protecting you from yourself. This is the kind of morons we have running the state. And this plan needs to be shouted from the rooftops. And the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services needs to be gone through, and the people, the geniuses that came up with this stupidity needs to be fired immediately, taken out. See, that's the problem we're having in the state of Michigan. And I'm going to get into this as this show goes along. In fact, I'm going to get into it right now. Let's just throw it down. Let's start it. Okay. We are being run now. Gretch basically had her queenly powers ripped out from underneath her. Gretch basically, and you know, the problem is she's not going to face retribution for what she did. Illegally destroying businesses after businesses after businesses all summer long last year. Illegally. Against the state constitution. And God knows against the Constitution of the United States of America. But she'll face no criminal charges. Oh yeah, they're the Macomb County prosecutor wants her on charges of voluntary manslaughter for all she did to kill most of the old people in that county. People who are, you know, the most vulnerable. She put COVID patients in with. And then when she was called out, instead of saying, well, you know, maybe it is a mistake, let's look at it. No, she doubled down. I'm just following CDC guidelines. I'm just following orders. Yeah, that sounds like, I don't know, 1942 Germany. Just, you know, just saying. Just following guidelines. Yep, that's all I'm doing. Anyway, now they're coming out and saying, well, we're just going to make this part of the plan. No, you're not going to make it part of the plan. You're not going to make a part of the plan no matter what. I'm not going to follow it. And I'm urging everybody to converge on the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and say, no way. No, this is in a very limited circumstance, and we're only going to give you 0 chances to do this. You did this once, and it did no good. You compare our statistics to places that stayed open or opened early, there's no difference. They did not work. Lockdowns didn't work. Keeping people in their homes who were completely healthy only caused psychological issues to go off the charts, suicides to go off the charts, domestic violence to go off the charts, drug usage to go off the charts. See, they don't want to talk about any of this stuff. They don't want to talk about it because they stand convicted of making this happen. We have an election coming up next year. I want this to be shouted from the rooftops. Gretchen Whitmer failed. The only thing she managed to do was destroy tons of small businesses, make kids kill themselves, make you feel like you have absolutely no hope. The psychological damage, and dare I say it, even the physiological damage caused by this feckless governor that we have in Lansing. Anybody under 60 years old, it was much worse than the pandemic. Much, much worse than the pandemic. I have never seen entire groups, an entire state of people looking so hopeless. You travel around this state and they just look defeated. The one, you know who doesn't look defeated? The people who said, I'm sorry, I'm a free person. You're not my queen. You're a representative. Yeah, even though you're a governor, you represent the state of Michigan. We're citizens, not subjects. The people who take that attitude, they don't look defeated. The rest of them look horrible. I've never seen such hopelessness in these eyes. And I'm going to make sure, do my part to make sure that people realize how badly she damaged the state. And now, you know darn well Her little minions are running Department of Health and Human Services. Her little minions, and she is just breaking their cojones to make sure that they bow down to her. And I'm starting to get the feeling that this is why creepy Robert Gordon bailed. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not the only one that's getting that feeling. Questions are coming up. People want to know. A little article in Fox News that just came out. Daughter of Michigan coronavirus nursing home victim Jamie Nicholson weighed in on a pandemic response from Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Following a backlash, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the state's former health director agreed this week to waive a confidentiality clause. Now, remember, we were talking about this. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks now. When creepy Robert Gordon said, "I'm done, I'm out of here," he left. He got a $155,000 severance deal, and he was made to sign a confidentiality clause. The departure, I should say, which Robert Gordon announced in January 22nd, coupled with his hefty payout, raised concerns in the media and with state lawmakers. And it should have raised concerns with you as well, prompting Democrat Whitmer to revoke the clause Thursday in the interest of greater transparency. Yeah, right. Gordon resigned the day after he issued an order to allow indoor dining to resume. Neither Whitmer nor Gordon have given the reason for his departure, but his successor, Elizabeth Hurdle, who is another one of Gretchen's minions, intimated that Whitmer and Gordon may have had differences of opinion about the coronavirus orders. A lot of these decisions are not based on science and data, Republican State Representative Matt Hall said, according to Fox 2. They're based on politics, and one way we can get to the bottom of that is by asking Robert Gordon more questions about his time at the department and what led to his departure. What type of disagreements potentially led to that? Gordon wrote a one-page letter to the State House Oversight Committee investigating the resignation, but has not agreed to testify. He said, "There were healthy and robust conversations about policy issues where reasonable people could disagree and did. Adding the conversations had strong outcomes where the coronavirus was concerned, namely lowering the death rate in the state. The governor deserves a health director with whom she is comfortable. I tendered my resignation and she accepted it," he wrote. In other words, they weren't comfortable working together. Read between the lines, kids. Republican State Representative Steve Johnson, chairman of the Oversight Committee, has promised to issue subpoenas and examine records related to any severance agreement in the Whitmer administration. Ted Goodman, a state Republican Party spokesman, said Michiganders deserve to know why Mr. Gordon left and why a confidentiality agreement was required in the first place. Why are you shutting people up, Gretch? Why? We want to know. And the bad thing about it is as we've talked about this on the show before, Gordon is an Obama holdover, which means he's worked for an activist. He does activist things. That was kind of evident. Republicans in the state also wanted Whitmer investigated over her handling of the nursing home deaths. We know that. Of course, Dana Nessel, who has got her nose stuck up Whitmer's backside there, denied that request Monday. Still, Lonnie Scott, executive director of Progress Michigan, a liberal advocacy group, noted that the state's Republican-led legislature has had 30 severance deals totaling more than $630,000, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's not just her, it's the whole thing. However, the way he left and how quickly he left, and of course, we all knew that the director of the unemployment insurance, what a mess he had. He got scammed out of his shorts right in front of everybody. Our money, our tax dollars, gone, not recoverable. It's all gone. We want to know why Gretch needs a confidentiality agreement. We want to know what she was doing. We want to know the science that she thinks she's using. I have not seen evidence, trace evidence at all of science. I look at the statistics all the time. I read them here on this show. Michigan's reaction to this pandemic does not match the severity of the pandemic. Yes, we had a spike, but what they call cases can range from anything from, we found some active cells that are, viral cells in your sinuses. And even though you're not sick, you don't have a fever, nothing, and your body has fought this completely off, well, you're a case now. All the way up to people being on machines, fighting for their lives, and anything in between. They call those positives. And of course, they don't tell you how many current active cases are going on in Michigan. They want you to be terrified. Oh, hundreds of thousands of cases. No, that's not the truth. Yeah, we've had that, but they won't report the active cases going on right now. And they also won't tell you that the deaths occurring are predominantly 60 and over, and most of those are 70 and over. Anybody under 60 years old needs to just be out there carrying on their life. If you start getting a fever, you start getting sick, go home, stay home, quarantine. Healthy people should not quarantine ever. And it's making a wreck of this state. And we are going to be paying for this for generations. It's a horrible time to have an absolute tyrant in the city of Lansing governing this state. And now she's got the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services doing this. I'm sorry. I'm not going to lock down every time a flu season rolls around. Not going to happen. I didn't do it this time. I didn't social distance from people that I love. And thank God I didn't. So there you have it. You need to know this is going on. You need to know it. When I get done with this show, I'm going to post not only that article about what the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is trying to pull over, but I'm going to actually post the actual Health and Human Services, their whole guideline that they have out. Decide for yourselves. Decide for yourselves. I'm just a guy. I'm just a person that does this. I'm no expert at anything. I do a lot of stuff, but you can't pin expert on me. I dabble in a lot of stuff, but I don't have the time to be an expert on anything. But I will tell you this. I know a shyster when I see one. I know when I'm being played. I know when I'm being scammed. And for the past year, this woman in Lansing has been scamming the entire state. She has cost me thousands of dollars. She's cost Michiganders thousands of jobs, thousands of small businesses that we are just not going to get back. And when she finally crashed the entire state, she turned around, shrugged her shoulders, and said, oh, well, the federal government will take care of it. She needs to be run out of Lansing on a pole. Sell her to Canada for something. I don't know if they'd pay for her, but it's infuriating to watch her do this crap. And I guess before we go to break, I can throw this up there. She's loosened the reins a little bit. And she's already showed that if she thinks that this stuff's going to start costing her votes, she'll start loosening up a little bit. Of course, she's got to be mommy to everybody. If we all take our own personal responsibility here, we can keep these things re-engaged and do it safely. She told everybody during a news conference in which its top state health official warned the state may be at the beginning of a third surge. Oh, well, if you start getting a fever, stay home. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We've already figured out masks, no masks, social distancing, no social distancing. These surges are happening. They're happening. They surge, and then people get healthy again. Anyways, under revised health orders that take effect, that already took effect, I guess, especially Monday, I guess Detroit Tigers Comerica Park can seat 20% of their capacity if they have an infection control plan that complies with the state guidance. The cap, which has been 1,000, will rise to about 8,200 for the Tigers game. They probably, are helping her get reelected, I imagine. I noticed the trend last year. The first businesses that were open were like UAW controlled businesses that contributed to her reelection fund. It was really obvious. She tried not to make it that obvious, but it was really obvious. Donate, pay to play. Oh, you want your business open? Well, here's my reelection fund. I'm sure a lot of that went on. But anyways, we got a whole new thing. And of course, they're already beating the drum. No, we're going to have another spike. Well, you know what? Summer's coming up. Let it happen. It's going to be sunny. You want to protect the people over 60? Fine, do that. Anybody who's under 60 needs to just be out there. If you get it, stay home. If you don't, get sunshine, get exercise, get healthy, start building up your immune system again. We need to override this idiot we have in Lansing before she kills us all. We're all starving to death because we have no economy. But anyways, her latest queenly edict says the order will also let people go unmasked at residential gatherings if everyone has been vaccinated. Yeah, okay, sure. Which aligns with recent guidance from the Center for Disease Control. Michigan's COVID-19 case and positivity rates have been rising for a month. Related hospitalizations have gone up the past 2 weeks, but remain well below peak levels, and they have been for quite some time. School-related outbreaks for the first time exceeded those in long-term care facilities, which everybody's getting it and getting better. Talk about the deaths. Don't just talk about positive cases. The most important thing we all want for our children is to have in-person learning and school closures. You know, I got to say one thing. Okay, I disagree with her on 99% of everything. At least she has made a good effort to keep schools open. I will say that. Yeah, I'm going to give her the win when if she's got a win, I'm going to give it to her. She did that. I'm going to give that to her. Yeah, I'll give her the positive on that. I'll give her the win on that. Anyways, we have reached the bottom of the hour already, and I've been ranting like a lunatic, like I usually do. When we come back, we got a few more Gretch rants, including her locking up a restaurateur who she's destroyed her business. We'll talk about that when we come back.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Just all over the place with music tonight, right? Old school hip hop, old school ZZ Top, Ozzy. It's just my life, guys. What can I say? Welcome back at CIRCUMSPICE, right side of Michigan. All things Michigan from a conservative point of view. We got a full chat room tonight. We got Jeff, we got Artie, we got JC, GR, Mike, Sharko, and Lou. Lou is the privileged one. She's just right in the middle of all of us handsome dudes, right? If you're listening to this live, get into that Chat Lives Matter room at www.KLRNradio.com/chat. I'm warning you, though. They get pretty rowdy in there. Rowdy. I'm telling you. Speaking of rowdy, since I turned 55, and I'm headlong towards 56 this year. When I turned 50, things changed for me. Now that I'm 55, all bets are off. I kind of I'm headlong into fulfilling my bucket list. And I really don't sweat things like I used to. Somebody wants to come at me. All right. If you want to, go ahead. You won't be the first. You won't be the last. And apparently I'm not alone. And this ties into what we were just talking about before the break with Grudge. A 55-year-old Holland restaurant owner operating in defiance of a court order ordering her to close and the state's COVID-19 restrictions, including Michigan's mask mandate, was arrested Friday by Michigan State Police. Marlena Pavlos Hackney was arrested shortly before 6 a.m. during a traffic stop in Ottawa County on a civil warrant for contempt of court, according to Attorney General Dana Nessel's office. She's being held at the Ingham County Jail pending a court hearing. Pavlos Hackney was alerted to the warrant March 11th and told to turn herself in by March 18th, Nessel's office said. Of course, she thumbed her nose at the whole thing. She's been on Fox News. She's been on The Blaze. And right now, Marlena's Bistro and Pizzeria has been operating in violation of the state's COVID-19 public health orders for months, according to Nessel's office. This owner has continued to willfully violate the state's food laws, public health orders, and the order of the court, a dangerous act that may have exposed dozens of diners and employees to the virus following the discovery that one of Marlene's customers tested positive for the virus within 2 days of eating there. Oh, no. The Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development suspended the restaurant's food establishment license on January 20th, but it has continued to operate since. An administrative law judge upheld the suspension February 11th, according to Nessel's office. Of course, they're all in Gretchen's and Nessel's pocket. I'll have to tell you, since the last election, the GOP has lost the Michigan State Supreme Court. We've lost it. Because we don't run people who are gung-ho, flamboyant enough to get people's attention to get them to vote for them. That's a problem with the Michigan GOP that we're going to have to address. But anyways, so now things like this are going to happen, and instead of relying on the state Supreme Court to go, yeah, you can't do that, and booting them out, like they did the barber up in Owasso at the beginning of this, no, she's going to hang for it. Because, oh my God, she defied Gretchen's orders. Anyways, Assistant Attorney General Eileen Whipple told Ingham County Circuit Judge Wanda Stokes earlier this month that the restaurant would not allow inspectors on site and would not comply with social distancing or state mask mandates. Oh my gosh. She's a free person? They don't have those here in Michigan, do they? Huh, must be a libertarian. Anyway, Marlena's is not employing even the most basic COVID-19 mitigation measures, Whipple said. Marlena's has rebuffed repeated attempts by the Allegan County Health Department to work with them to bring the defendant's establishment into compliance. We don't want this country we don't want in this country a communist regime who's going to dictate what we can do and what we can't do, Pavlos Hackney said. This kind of smells to me like she is defiant in the fact that she's lawyered up and she's ready to take on the court system. I hope she does. I hope she goes after them. Make it very public. Make it very, very personal against Whitmer. I don't know what Gretsch has against restaurants. I think she's got a hidden eating disorder or something, but pretty much everything else is open. I mean, this is how stupid it is. Okay. I ate at a restaurant today. Okay. You have to wear your mask when you walk in. You walk to your table, and the second you sit down, you can take your mask off. What the heck good does that do anybody at any time, ever? It's the most ridiculous, as I tell everybody, this is what happens when bureaucracy takes over common sense. When bureaucracy wins over common sense, you get this kind of stupidity. And this woman has had enough. She's had enough. You got to understand, if you're not from this state, people have had enough and they have nothing to lose. It's just like the woman we were talking about a few weeks ago on this very show who kept her restaurant open even though they wanted her shut down. She said, I have nothing to lose. I have nothing if I close, I'm finished as a person. I have no job. I have nothing if I close. If I remain open, they're going to take my business away anyway. Either way, I'm going to lose my business. This way, keeping it open, at least keep it open for a little while longer. And we do not have intelligent people working in Lansing who can come to this woman's aid. We don't have intelligent people in Lansing at all helping us. All they want is power. You are locked down. You will not move until we can say you can move. And they need to be challenged just like this. They need to be defied just like this. They don't get to get off easy for taking our freedoms and our liberties away. They just don't. Sorry. If that offends you, I'm sorry, but they just don't. That's the end of my Gretsch rants. I know it lasted most of the things, but we're going to keep an eye on this business owner. We really are. And quite honestly, it's disgusting. Everything she's doing right now is disgusting. You know, I'm looking at Florida stats. I'm looking at Florida, and yeah, people are getting sick down there, but they're getting better and they're going right back out into the world. They're not getting it 2-3 times. As far as the vaccine goes, you know what? If you want to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. In my personal opinion about the vaccine is, look at the odds, okay? If you have a pre-existing condition, if you are not in good health, if you are one of these people who you just know as time goes on, you're going to have problems, get the vaccine. It's playing the odds. I'm not ready to get it yet. I'm going to let everybody else get it. I'm skeptical. I want a year at least under the belt, at least 18 months. I want to see what happens when the next flu goes around, how everybody who's had this vaccine is going to react to the next flu. And now, you know, there's grumblings, and I've seen a few articles where they want you to get this thing every year. What? We've bought into it. Now, you're going to have to get this every year. Yep, every year you're going to have to go get this COVID flu. Yeah, no. Sorry. Let's talk about other things. Tesla. You know, Tesla is Ann Arbor's flagship car. I've never seen so many Teslas in all my life running around Ann Arbor. So there you have it. However, for the second time this week, the U.S. government's road safety agency is sending a team to investigate a Tesla crash in Michigan. This time, the National Highway Safety and Traffic Safety Administration is sending a special crash investigation team because a Tesla using the company's autopilot partially automated driving system crashed into a state police cruiser along a freeway. Oops. Oh, and backing up, yes, GR, Stacy did say that she does not want a medicine less than 5 to 7 years old. Exactly. I agree. I'm kind of on that bandwagon too. I'm not running to get that vaccine yet. Anyways, back to this story. It's another sign that the safety agency under President Joe Biden may be taking a stronger look at regulating driver-assisted systems such as autopilot, as well as self-driving automobiles. Okay. Now, of course, they're going to throw Tesla out there. Why are they going to throw Tesla out there? Because Elon Musk has been thumbing his nose at the government. He has kind of been turning, you watch him on Twitter, you watch him on his Twitter feed. He is slowly going libertarian. He has seen the light. He's taken the pill, and he's waking up to the fact that that no government is a better government. Right. Further proof, Elon Musk hates authority. But, you know, I've had my thoughts about self-drive. I have been in the automotive industry going on 36 years now. Okay. One form or another. Now I'm just a lowly buyer who makes sure everybody has the things they need to get their jobs done. I have been all over this industry, and I know for a fact that when it comes to things like self-driving vehicles, it's just a bunch of sensors and a GPS. That's the simple view of it. It's a lot more complex than that, but that's what it is. When them sensors start going bad, start malfunctioning, anything can happen. Now, some of these Teslas are starting to get some miles on them. And, you know, no offense to Elon Musk, you know, I love the guy to death. I mean, he's like, he's what happens when capitalism is allowed to do its thing. And, you know, everybody wants his money. The government really wants his money, but he does some pretty cool things. But anyways, yeah, that's 2 in the state of Michigan. Speaking of Michigan State Police being hit, a Michigan State Police dispatch supervisor in the Upper Peninsula was charged with criminal sexual conduct this week. Michigan State Police dispatch supervisor, what's his name? Brian McEachern. There it is. Brian McEachern, who was assigned to the Nigoni Regional Communications Center after receiving a complaint in December related to off-duty activity, said Lieutenant Mark Giannunzio, Public Information Officer for the MSP 8th District. Detectives forwarded their findings to the Marquette County Prosecutor's Office, which charged McEachern with 2 counts of first-degree and fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct. McEachern was arrested Wednesday and arraigned the next day at Marquette County's 96th District Court. Bond was set at $50,000. The 52-year-old has been on administrative leave since January 6th. He has worked with Michigan State Police since '92 and was once named Civilian of the Year, according to the state website. McEachern has expected to remain on leave throughout the criminal proceedings. There's also a separate internal investigation at the Michigan State Police. State police are asking any other potential victims of this foul piece of crap to get a hold of Sergeant Chris Brackett of the Iron Mountain Post at phone number 906-774-2122. Yeah, good job, State Police. Let's purge this guy from the system. Purge this guy from the state. The more you do it, the merrier. Okay, last week, I talked to you about General Motors idling some plants in the state because they can't get chips. Well, now it's Ford's turn. Ford did it a different way, though. Of course, we're having a global semiconductor shortage. A lot of people don't even know that, but it's happening. Ford built the F-150. They built a whole bunch of them. They kept people working as long as they could, but they're building them without their computers, without some of their computers. Basically, they're unfinished and they're just sitting idle until they can get the semiconductors to build the computers to come in. The move is the latest ripple from the global semiconductor shortage, which earlier this week forced Honda and Toyota to announce production cuts at some of their North American factories. Ford's move is likely to tighten inventory of the F-150 pickups and top-selling vehicles in America. On Wednesday, Ford Motor Company told about 30,000 of its employees worldwide who have worked from home that they can continue to do so indefinitely with flexible hours approved by their managers. Their schedules will become a work-office hybrid. They'll commute to work mainly for group meetings and projects best suited to face-to-face interactions. So Ford's announcement sent one of the clearest signals to date that the pandemic has hastened a cultural shift in America's work lives by erasing any stigma around remote work and encouraging the adoption of technology that enables it. Okay, time to talk about this. Remote work. How long has it been now? 2009? So it's been 12 years since I've gotten my, I got my head out of my backside and got my bachelor's degree. Finished it up. One of the classes I took was called Remote Management. And it was all about managing groups of people, doing remote work, work at home, work at distance offices, things like that. Actually, the program was put on by Microsoft, and our college, adopted it, and it was pretty good, pretty slick. I've used some of the things that I've learned in there. They saw this coming years ago. And, thankfully it's 2021 and we can do these stuff. We have the technology. People have the technology on their phone. But anyways, this computer chip shortage is just getting worse and worse. And it's going to really, it's going to affect cars, trucks, whatever going into it. I really haven't heard much of why we're having this computer chip shortage, why we're having the semiconductor shortage. And to tell you the truth, with the relationship we have with China right now, probably going to get worse. Because you know where a lot of those come from, right? Well, there you have it. Do we want to talk about this? Actually, honestly, this is kind of upsetting to me. There was a shooting in the parking lot of Motor City Casino. I have played Motor City Casino in the past from about 99 to 2002. We had a steady gig going at Motor City Casino. So when something like this happens there, I kind of cringe a little bit because the people who work there are great. The people who own it are great. They've always been such gracious hosts to their musicians. But anyways, apparently a fight broke out between a 25-year-old man and his girlfriend, and somebody intervened. Apparently there was some altercations, and the 25-year-old man was shot and killed. So there's not a lot going on in this, but keep a heads up on that. Sounds to me like he might have been, I don't know. He might have been like attacking his girlfriend or something like that. Maybe they were drunk. Who knows? But something's going on. I'll keep you abreast of the situation as it develops. This just happened last night. So yeah, there was something shady going on there. It sounds to me like somebody pulled a gun and tried to defend the girl and ended up killing the guy. Who knows if it was legal or not? So anyways, that's all of the railing and rocking and reeling that I have for our wonderful state of Michigan going on. So you know what that leaves, right, guys? You know what that leaves?
Bet you're going fishing all of the time. Baby going fishing too. Bet your life, your sweet wife gonna catch more fish than you. Many fish bites if you got good bait. Oh, here's a little tip that I'ma like to relate. With my pole mama and my line, I'm a-gone fishing. Yes, I'm gone fishing, and the baby gone fishing.
That's right. It's the Michigan Fishing Report. You know what? I personally, with my very own eyes, saw several people walking down the road today carrying fishing poles back from the fishing hole near Tecumseh, Michigan. It's on. Water's melted. I'm getting watercraft ready to hit the water and go after some panfish. Oh, yes, I am. Southeast Lower Peninsula Lake Erie, those trolling bandits and reef runners caught walleye in Breast Bay. Oh, that's a beautiful sound. Walleye in Breast Bay. Walleye is so good this time of year. They're starting to catch a couple of steelhead in the Huron River. Detroit River is producing some yellow perch in the cuts and marinas. Most are using perch rigs with minnows. They've caught a couple of small walleyes too. Lake St. Clair, the lake and backwaters are ice-free. Some docks are in. Let's see. Fairhaven and Selfridge should have the docks in soon. Windy conditions are making it hard to get out, but some anglers are doing well on perch and panfish in the near shore areas. A couple of walleye were caught by those trolling in the southwestern lake. So Lake St. Clair River, docks should be in soon. Walleye and salmon are being caught by the few anglers venturing out. Saginaw Bay, only a small perch are being caught in the cuts. The pier at Caseville is open water, and anglers are starting to look for lake trout. Walleye and pike season are closed on the inland waters off Saginaw Bay. Tittabawassee River is high, muddy, and unfishable. Forget about it. southwest lower peninsula. Benton Harbor, boat launch is open. However, restrooms are still closed. St. Joseph reported some good catches for coho for those trolling small body baits in 10 to 15 feet of water. Kalamazoo River, steelhead action was slow. Most fish are caught at Calkins Dam. However, some anglers had success trolling the plugs down the river. Grand Haven, let's see. A few boats targeting steelhead and coho have started to go out. Grand River near Grand Rapids, where everybody basically wades out there and fishes. No word on steelhead yet. Water clarity is getting to be decent. A couple of smallmouth bass are caught recently. Try some minnows and crawlers if you're fishing out there. Muskegon River, water levels are up but fishable after the snow melt. Anglers are targeting steelhead. What do we got? Northeast Lower Peninsula, Higgins Lake. The north and northwest end of the lake is getting bad as the ice is breaking away from the shoreline. Anglers were still ice fishing along the southeast end, fools. Oh, anyway, I would not be out on the ice right now. Anglers caught a few nice pike, some smelt, and lake trout. Houghton Lake, in an effort to complete critical work ahead of the spring boating season, the DNR has started dredging the West Houghton Lake and South Houghton Lake boating access sites. There's not a whole lot going on at Houghton Lake right now. The only action was open water fishing below the Reedsburg Dam. Tawas, strong winds have blown the ice offshore. The docks are in. Fishing was slow. Steelhead were caught in 6 to 8 feet using a body bait, and a couple of walleye were taken from 30 to 32 feet in front of the Tawas River. Augress, the docks are in at the DNR launch. A couple boats were out of the Pine River, but Skid Pier is not in yet. It's too windy and no fish are being caught. Stay out there. Northwest Lower Peninsula and Traverse City. Now we're talking, baby. Both bays have open water, though no boats have been out due to windy conditions. Yeah, we got the wind going on. Manistee, a couple of steelhead and brown trout are caught by surf anglers and those trolling near the shore. Manistee River, anglers reported decent catches of steelhead when using spawn and body baits or fly fishes. Anglers are reminded that Little Manistee River is closed to fishing until April 1st. Don't go out there. Lakes Cadillac and Mitchell, ice fishing is pretty much done with no safe ice to report. Pierre Marquette River is also producing some decent catches of steelhead. Steelhead fishing on the Pierre Marquette River is something everybody has to do at least once. Upper Peninsula, good day, eh? The UP, take off, you hosers. Great White North. Keweenaw Bay, anglers should use extreme caution of venturing out because of warm weather and strong winds over the last week. Those that managed to get out caught lake trout and Cisco along the occasion, and with the occasional splake, pike, and coho. Very few anglers have been out for smelt as catch rates were low. And Cedarville and Hessel, ice conditions for the Cedarville Channel and into Government Bay are unknown, but there were a few anglers fishing in front of Hill Island. Muskie Bay and Duck Bay still had ice. Perch ranging from 7 to 11 inches were caught in Muskie Bay when jigging waxworms and perch minnows. Man, a perch dinner cannot be beat. I'm sorry, that is some good stuff. The better action was off Pleasant Point heading into Duck Bay. Hessel had little fishing activity. No word on perch or splake, but a lake trout was caught near the marina when jigging a minnow in 12 to 15 feet of water. Your fishing tip of the week, use a non-slip loop to tie on streamers while fly fishing. It lets the fly move in greater range motion and can sometimes trigger more strikes from the fish. And that is the Michigan Fishing Report. Guys, thank you so much for listening to Circumspice, the right side of Michigan, on KLRNRadio, America's podcast network. Thanks for joining me in chat tonight. You know, I rant, I rave, I get on here. Things kind of make me mad. But really, in reality, this is the time of year I love being in this state. And nobody can really steal that kind of joy from me. It's been sunny. It's been beautiful. People have been out. People are tired of being cooped up. People want fresh air. They want sunshine. They want to be healthy. And I encourage that activity as much as I can. Get out there, live your life. Don't curl up in a corner and die just because we have a flu. God bless you. God bless the great state of Michigan. Keep it tuned to KLRNRadio.com all week long. We have so many cool shows and so many topics. Something is going to interest you. I guarantee you. We'll talk again soon.